Greetings, Algo artisans. Is Jasmy about to crash? Not so fast. Let's take a look at the charts and the news right now.
I'm going to wait for the perfect price to go back in.
Ultra pump it.
Okay, so this question of Jasmy possibly dumping has to do with some news that came out. And we're going to get into that news in just a moment, but first I want to start in the charts. And I can tell you right now, the uptrend is intact with Jasmy. Now, it doesn't mean that it won't dump, but from purely a price action standpoint, price is in an uptrend. We have higher highs, we have higher lows, and that is seeming to continue here. Now, until price breaks this low on the daily, which is the 18-hour chart, this price of 3.3 cents, that is a key area. If that breaks, then that means the uptrend is violated. It doesn't mean that it's over though. It just might be kind of a complex pullback. If price broke and then came back up, then we would have a higher high and the uptrend would be intact. It just would be a complex pullback. But if price broke 3.3 cents and then made a lower high and continued down, then a downtrend will have started. At this point, the charts don't indicate any kind of dumping, but the reason that we're talking about this has to do with the company selling a lot of Jasmy into the market. So let's first take a look at the algos and see how that's reading the charts. So this crazy screen with all this data on it tells me that right now there is no concern for Jasmy dumping. And if it wasn't for the news scaring people, I probably would be interested in taking a long right here at this pullback as it grabbed liquidity from its most recent pop up. Again, if there wasn't this weird kind of concern about the coin and the price, then a great place to go along would have been anywhere in this box, and quite frankly, all the way up here in reality. Now there's a bit more liquidity down here, but technically price dipped into the area of consolidation prior to this move up, so technically this could be a great trade as it is. And if I were to take a shorter term trade, I would be in it as such. I'd have my stop loss below some of this structure in here, or perhaps I'd be using another method. Again, we teach a stop loss calculation at algofactory.tech, so come on over and take a look at that. But this is a pretty decent trade. It's better than 2 to 1. Probably going to continue. However, we do have to be careful and take a look at that news. Already this mock trade is in profit. Tells me price is still pretty bullish despite this concern. What is this concern? This is an article over on Crypto News, and it says that Jasmy price dips as DWF Labs moves tokens to Binance. And this article is a few hours old, and it says here, Jasmy Coin's price soared over the past 3 days, reaching highs of 4 cents on June 2nd. However, the token's value has slipped to 3.4 cents as latest on-chain data indicates a leading crypto market maker has deposited a huge amount of Jasmy to Binance. According to Spot On-Chain, DWF Labs has deposited millions of Jasmy tokens on exchanges in the past 3 days. In particular, DFW Labs' cumulative deposits to Binance over the past 3 days have reached 97 million Jasmy, which is around $3.3 million worth of the popular token. While the market maker still holds approximately 24 million Jasmy, worth 840,000, token's price has slumped each time the company sent tokens to the crypto exchange. So what's going on here? The rest of this article is good, but I think we have seen what we need to see. What they're wanting to do is, according to this article, GWF wants to get into meme coins, Pepe and WIF. Looks like they're trying to maximize profit. They may feel that the move up in Jasmy is done, and certainly it was a FOMO move. And I'll just say, like, when you see moves like this, massive moves, taking profit is always a good practice. Even if you think price is going to continue, it's not a bad idea to grab some profit and rotate it somewhere else. And it might be that their technical analysts over at that company feel that the probability of a move much higher is not the same level as what they might make over in Pepe and in the other meme coins like WIF. So they're probably just trying to maximize profit as opposed to being terribly concerned about Jasmy. That's what I think they're doing. Now, I might be wrong. They might feel that Jasmy is going to crash. Who knows what's going to happen? But what the article is saying is that every time this company has moved coins over to Binance, the price has fallen. I don't like to use the word crash. Crash is kind of dramatic. It does appear right now that even though the price slumped a little bit, price really has recovered nicely. Because as of noon yesterday, there was a pullback and price went from 4 cents down to 3.4. And this is the move that that article was talking about. So let's map that out. And this tells me that there's a good chance that price probably won't fall, at least not for that reason. But this was the move that that article described, right? Price going from 4 cents down to 3.4. And not only has it recovered, it has surpassed its prior high. Let's just say the coin is popular enough to easily have absorbed whatever that that news was. Now, whether or not those were sold is another story, and there might be some downward pressure on the market, but Jasmy, last I looked, was a $2 billion market cap. Here, let's take a quick look at the trading volume for that. Okay, so here we are on CoinGecko, and the 24-hour trading volume for Jasmy is $500 million. We were talking about a market that 2 days ago or 3 days ago was a $4 billion trading volume. It traded twice the value of its market cap in 24 hours just a few days ago. Even in this state where it's trading 12.5% of what it did a few days ago, 25% of its current market cap or more, that's really strong. That amount of trading volume should be able to absorb $3 million worth of sales. So I'm not that worried about the Jasmy price, not by the numbers. That's kind of where I'm standing with this. Let's go ahead and move over to take a look at the Bitcoin chart before we end the show, and we'll see if we can get a general feel for the market. Now, I did cover this on the show this morning, and my private group, you can see where I drew this arrow right here, and I've calculated really that Bitcoin would go ahead and head up, and as a matter of fact, on Sunday, I told my group that the longs are in. As far as I could tell, chances are that Bitcoin is going to break its all-time high soon, and the post-halving pullback is over, and I sent that to a few people, and then put it on X later, and it appears that so far I am correct, and I thought this morning we'd see a nice trade right here. However, this was kicked off right as some US economic data came out, and it was bearish for the dollar, and so when the dollar is bearish, everything is going to go bullish, and so I am not seeing as a coincidence that price really started to rocket up as soon as that data came out this morning at 8 a.m. Really a big move there. I might simply have overestimated how long it would take, but the longs were in, and I so far was correct. I was just, you could say, late, and being right and being early or being right and being late, they don't make any money, but they at least let you know that your metrics are correct, right? And of course this happened during my show, so I couldn't necessarily take advantage of it because I was in the middle of teaching class. The point is that Bitcoin does appear as if it wants to continue up. So let me go ahead and delete this, and let's take a look at the algo panel here and see if we can get a feel for how things are doing. Bullish, 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 bullish. Everything's bullish right now. I see no reason for Bitcoin not to simply just go break the all-time high. I mean, it probably won't go up in a straight line. Nothing usually does. Here and there you do see things that FOMO up, but usually you're going to get some pullbacks. I would look for pullbacks at the current price, possibly. Algo say it's probably just going to break through. I look for a pullback around 72,000, and then of course you have some of these upper levels here. And the ultimate pullback possibility would be at the all-time high. Now, quick warning about Bitcoin and trading. I don't usually short Bitcoin in the bull market, especially not when it's not in the post-halving lull. So the only time I might short Bitcoin in the bull is in the post-halving lull like this, when price does have a chance to head down and retrace. But once this is over, I am longs, baby. Longs, 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 aside from scalps. So it's quite possible that we're going to go ahead and see this continue up. And I do have some stop-off points on the high time frame for 80,000 and 88,000. Now, I think price will exceed those, but those are just the stop-off points where price might go ahead and make a stop. Good place to take profit. Now, this most recent impulse also does have some implications as to the first stop-off point being correct, because you have this big move that happened that I actually called 2 weeks ago, on May 14th. So it was already on the way, and I called that it would go higher and consolidate pretty much right where it is. And if you measure this impulse, then the target for that is actually going to be at about 79,200. So what I might do is, like I said, 80,000 is a decent stop-off point. However, I might consider taking profit a little bit below that just because of this confluence. So rather than take it right at 80,100, which is where the prior fib level is right here, I might go ahead and take it just below the 618 or even at the 618 at about 79.4. So that's a look on Bitcoin, and as this continues to be bullish, all the other alts will continue to be bullish. Now, if Bitcoin does FOMO hard, if it really pushes up hard, then it might take some money out of the alt market, so your alts might take temporary hits. It has happened before. Other times, everything just rises altogether. And again, I do think meme coins are going to be where a lot of the money goes. That's just the talk of the town and the talk in the street, and I think that talk is good talk. Meme coins have been the narrative, and I think they will continue to be the narrative. Just got to be very careful. They're extremely risky, and nothing that we say is investment advice. Don't forget that. So do your own research. I do hope this video was helpful. Come on over to algofactory.tech. We can teach you how I know how to call these out. You've seen me in the last several months, the last year really, making accurate calls on this, accurate forecast. And while none of it is meant to be investment advice, that data is extremely valuable. And if you want to know how to do that yourself, you don't have to wait for my shows to come on. You can do your own predictions, make your own money if that's what you want to do. Come to algofactory.tech. We teach people how to build their own trading methods. They can be a manual trading algorithm where you're not using any kind of computer code. You don't have to know how to code anything like that. Or if you do want to code your algorithm, we can put you on the road to having that done. But as a matter of fact, we got some customers who are very happy with their progress in algo building. So let's hear from one of them right now.
Hey, Cowboy V. I just wanted to give a heartfelt thanks for putting this project together. I initially joined Algo Factory a year ago, concerned about a repeat of the 2008 Great Financial Crisis and the prospect of losing my job again. Within 12 months, under V and Cowboy's expert tuition, including live reviews, I've created a profitable algorithm launched across a selection of assets. Now, facing the prospect of redundancy and a nice fat severance package to trade with, my current worst case scenario is to keep my job. Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate what you've done here.
All right, thanks for listening to that. Don't forget, algofactory.tech. Come on over, trade your job, upgrade your life, and we'll see you on the next one.